Hey folks, Mac T here, and we're going to talk a little bit about a 3.5 Duratec and a 2-liter Ecoboost engine. Two different edges, two different platforms, but the question I have is which engine is actually more durable than the other? And we're going to discuss a few reasons why I believe what I believe based on my experiences. So let's go ahead and review a few things about the 3.5 liter Duratec and the 2-liter Ecoboost. Now we have here a 2000 Ford Edge Limited front-wheel drive with a 3.5 liter Duratec in it, approximately 285 horsepower and 253 foot-pound of torque putting out, and it is naturally aspirated. Then we go over here and look at this 2019 Ford Edge Titanium all-wheel drive with the 2-liter Ecoboost. Yes, it is the VEP engine built with the I guess you could say the modifications on the engine block. So it doesn't have coolant intrusion, but it did have coolant intrusion through the cooler, which is down here, and the EGR cooler. Anyway, got that fixed. But this engine here will put out 250 horsepower and over 280 foot-pounds of torque. Now, torque is king in a lot of ways. So in a race head-to-head with this one, compared to this 2019, this 2019 would win by about a car length. If you take the 3.7 Duratec and toss it in there, it will beat this 2-liter Ecoboost all day, every day, because horsepower does gain, and it just doesn't have the horsepower. But my major thing is, if you look at it, this engine uses 5W30. Now, if we go over here to this 2011, it uses 5W20. Now you say, well, Bill, why the difference in the oils? Well, there's a lot more pressure on this Ecoboost, and that is because of this. That's right, 20-some thousand PSI or whatever they're saying it's doing, but it is putting out a lot of pressure for that fuel. And of course, this one is naturally aspirated. We got the old throttle body right here. That's right. Yep, just kicking and sucking, and that's all it's doing. But it takes it a little while to wind up. But under the history of this engine, you think, oh, Bill, the water pump, the water pump. Yes, the water pump. I know the water pump. But what about the naturally aspirated part of it? This engine, in all oil testing that I have ever done, I have not had fuel in the oil. This Duratec, I know for a fact, is a 500,000 mile engine easily with proper maintenance. Not so much on this one. I've been doing oil testing, and in over 32,000 miles of this engine's life, I have pulled out oil, and in 32,000 miles, it has given me 1/4 of a gallon of gasoline through testing that I've proven in the oil. So what have I done? I went up to a 10W or 5W40 just to change the viscosity of the oil, so it actually ends up a 5W30 when the whole thing's done, and I do oil changes at least every 3,000 miles. I have to get the gasoline out of the oil. This engine is not a 500,000 mile engine. My oil testing I've been doing is showing higher metals than this naturally aspirated Duratec. That's right, this thing shows far less, at 177,000 miles, has less metals in the oil than this 32,000 mile Ecoboost. Let that sink in. If it's wearing itself out and eating itself from the inside, is this a 500,000 mile engine? And my guess is it's not. I love the car. I love how it drives. It is the best driving car I have. It will outpace this thing in corners and braking and everything, but the engine power plant is where the weak link is, and I just don't think it's going to go the distance like that 2011 will. That Duratec is stout, and with proper maintenance and care, like I said, it will run forever. So when you go and get your Ecoboost, I'm going to tell you, watch out for the gasoline. I go 10,000 miles per oil change on this Duratec. Highway miles, but 10,000 miles, folks. And I still get less metal than a 3,000 mile oil change on this Ecoboost. And I'll do an oil analysis comparison later in the next video. But I'm just telling you right now, this Ecoboost, I love it. It's got decent power for it. It moves the car along. But again, I love driving this thing. But I just don't think the Ecoboost engine has the durability of the Duratec. And there's a reason they called it the Duratec. So if you guys are going to go out and buy a Ford Edge, I know all that's left now, pretty much, unless you buy used, is the Ecoboost generation. So if you can find a 3.5 with lower mileage and it suits your needs, I would go for that. I'm personally, if I buy another Edge, and I may not, because I think maybe I'm running the end of the line with these things, but especially costs and everything else. But as far as the Ecoboost line, I would probably look for a 2018 with a 3.5 in it and be happy with it. But either way, that's what I would aim for if I were to buy a used Edge. 3.5 Duratec, 2018. You get the new platform. That's right, you get the new platform. You just don't have to, and then you get the Duratec engine to go into it. So that's the best of both worlds as far as that goes. But other than that, just pay attention to your oil changes, folks. I'm running 540, 1040 Eurospec oil in this engine now, and I have been for good 15,000 miles, and I have not noticed one single issue. And my oil testing is still coming up with lots of fuel in it anyway. So I'm waiting to see how it all works out and see what shakes out in the oil testing. I got another one coming in. So once I get that one in, I'll put out what's going on in a comparison to that one and comparison to this one. Mileage is greatly different, but you'll see what I mean when we do the oil testing. But for now, remember, like, subscribe, join MACTFORDEDGE on YouTube and also on the MeWe group. The MeWe group is where you're going to find me. Had a little problem or two with the old Facebook group. So MeWe is where you're going to find me, and that's where you want to go. And also don't forget MACT Garage on YouTube. And by the way, my feet hit the floor today. I'm having a great day, and I want you to have a great day too. Band of One's always got some great music to play, and Mercy Girl, hey, she's got a lot of one-liners for y'all.
Thank you for watching MACT's videos, and remember to like and subscribe. This is a Mercy Girl production.
Turn the turn signal on just to prove that it works. Gotta make a bit of a left here, then a right. There it goes. It turned off.